Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jerry Sansing. Once again, I'm bringing you the next edition of what's going on in Corpus Christi. Today is November the 12th, beautiful Sunday outside, and the air times for this during the week until December the 2nd, and I'll give you the new ones from December 3rd into June next show. But anyway, this one airs Monday evening at 9 p.m., Wednesday evening at 10 p.m. My email address is as follows. It's gsansing@gmail.com, and I'm going to ask you to please email me with some information if you would, and your comments and support, I hope, for what I think is going to be a very noble cause for this community. Anyway, my producer is Janelle Bennett. Dr. Bennett's been with me a long time with these shows. So anyway, I'm going to be right back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the camera's rolling, lights are on. I'm going to go around and take my seat as usual. You know, that's real interesting watching me walk around, but I don't have a crew in here, and try to do it myself. That way I don't get anybody else in trouble. But I do have a few things I want to talk about other than this beautiful pink bloom here. I hope that's pink enough for my good friend April 23 and Miss Lynn and so forth and so on. You know, you've got to have something beautiful in this scene other than my ugly face. Anyway, what's going on in Corpus Christi? This is essentially the Taxpayers Association show. I am the president of the Corpus Christi Taxpayers Association, and we've got some really fine members, folks, that are doing an awful lot for this community. So I'd like to invite you to our next meeting. It's not going to be until December the 2nd. It's going to be at the Small Planet Delicatessen, or Deli, there at Staples and Saratoga. And please join us at 2 o'clock. We're in the back room. I've already booked the facility for that day. And we have a real good time, and we get some very interesting subjects brought up, and we do cure, I think, an awful lot of problems as far as what taxpayers are going to get all over the government about, okay? And Lord knows we need to do that in Corpus Christi, Texas, especially when we have this city council and Del Mar College regents and Del Mar College administration, and you know, a bunch of the our city attorney and so forth and so on, not caring a damn thing about the taxpayers and the people that are paying their salaries. Anyway, show chimes will change, like I say, on December the 3rd, and I'll give you those new, okay? Now, the best thing to do to get a hold of these is to go on YouTube, if you've got that capability with your computer. And then what you can do is just put in Gerald, G-E-R-A-L-D, Sansing, and this show comes up, and the one that's the voice of Ed Bennett, and then also the South Texas News and Reviews, okay? So it's best to do that, since the city, with that TV station downtown that you pay for, actually, folks, the public access stations, Channel 10 on cable and Channel 18, you know, they mess up the schedules. Then they go complete Sunday without airing any shows whatsoever. They will not give Mr. Gordy, the president of the Public Access Users Group, Channel 10. He is the president. I'm the senior vice president. But they just won't give us a number to call if things get screwed up down there. I guess they're home resting, and you know, frankly, I don't think they care. That's my personal opinion. So I know I'm getting a little harsh at times, but that's just the way I see it. Okay. Now I'm going to put a plug in every year about this time of the year, by mid-November, when the bookstore over there, it's the gift shop, okay, at Driscoll Children's Hospital. If you go in there, they've got some marvelous things to purchase for people. But they take artwork from some of the patients over there, the children, and they make Christmas cards out of those, and some of them are absolutely gorgeous, folks, if not all of them. I can't say that I've ever seen a bad one over there. So I go over there and purchase those, and you know, that goes into their funds over there to help the children out. So please, this year, if you've never seen that, or you've done it in the past and you've gotten out of the habit, please go over there to Driscoll and purchase some of those cards and look at them. And they've got some other gifts and so forth and so on that the children have inspired. So it's a great organization. My hat's off to those people. And you know, they do some very fine work. And then there was a lady, Allison Schaefer, who was over there as a child. She's written a book, and I think they've got some of the children over there, the patients that are doing the artwork for that book. So please go over there and visit. And I know I've probably taken a lot of time up with Driscoll, but there's, you know, I'd take all day if I thought I could get you people to go over there and do that. So please do that and support that group. It's a fantastic medical facility, and the children they help, it's just phenomenal what they do over there. Great group, great group. And I've got a lot of my former students over there as technicians and different allied health professionals, nurses and surge techs and respiratory and so forth and so on. And I don't mean to leave anybody out over there, so don't get on me about that. Okay. Now, this one, as I said, airs Monday at 9 and then Wednesday at 10. Okay, so if you're there, South Texas News and Reviews, Sunday at 9:30 p.m., Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. And then the voice of Ed Bennett. Mr. Ed Bennett is now a regent in the Del Mar College Board of Regents. Okay, he's a member of that group, and he does a 30-minute show, you know, about what's going on over there at Del Mar College predominantly. But his is at Sunday at 8:30 p.m. and then Wednesday at 5 to 5:30 p.m. So please keep an eye on those for us. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start harping on the city again. And the city has yet to address, okay, their non-compliance with the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is under the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice. So I'm going to go ahead and reiterate that it's that the one that fights that the most is our esteemed city attorney. I don't think he has no compassion for anyone that's got a problem and is disabled. That's quite apparent to me from his actions. You know, we're judged a lot by our actions, folks, if not all that, our words and our actions. So, you know, he says that they don't have to comply with that, and I think the reason is I'm going to just go through this right quick with you again and reiterate what's happened. On September 11th of this year, I wrote the U.S. Department of Justice, Civil Rights Division, Disability Rights Section, and explained that it was impossible to get the city to comply with ADA. We've got some real non-compliance around here, and it is glaring, folks. It is absolutely glaring. Now the city, I sent. Let me tell you who I sent copies to. I sent the Inspector General of the Veterans Administration, and this went to the Department of Justice, the original. I have sent one to Trump, haven't heard back from that. John Cornyn, U.S. Senator from Texas, I haven't heard anything back. Blake Farenthold, U.S. Representative from this area in Texas, I haven't heard anything back from him. Juan Chuy Hinojosa, which is the Texas State Senator for this group, or this area. Todd Hunter, our state representative, and I haven't heard anything about that. And then I sent it to the Caller Times and Mr. Spurl down at Channel 6. Now, the Caller Times hasn't done anything, but I did hear back from Mr. Spurl, and you know, he's most upset with that. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but you know, we all are, folks. If you've got any compassion at all for anybody that's disabled, and particularly the disabled vets, since yesterday, pardon me, was Veterans Day, which is a very hallowed day for me. Okay, since my father was a fighter pilot for 32 years and fought in the big one, World War II, Korea and Nam, and he's rolling over in his grave now, folks, with the shenanigans going on in this country. Now, the city did get back with me, okay, and I sent them a copy of that, and they said that essentially there's a citizens accessibility grievance form that can be filled out, I don't know how aggrieved you have to be to get this done. I would think that just a prudent person would do it. I've seen people fill these things out and they get ignored too. So the city's not going to do a damn thing about it until they're fined and the Department of Justice comes down here and investigates. But what I got back essentially from the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division was that, let's see, this is in response to a complaint that you filed with this office alleging a possible violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA. After carefully reviewing the information that you provided, we have decided not to take any further action on your complaint. Unfortunately, because the section, meaning their section, receives thousands of ADA complaints each year, we do not have the resources to resolve all of them. Okay, so that's your government, folks. So, you know, I'd like to let you know that I'm going to start screaming and yelling about this too. So, Mr. Cornyn and Mr. Farenthold and Mr. Hinojosa and Mr. Hunter and so forth and so on, this one has just begun, folks. Then I would think that the Veterans Administration would care about this, okay? It says here, after careful review, it has been determined that the issues do not fall within the scope of the OIG, that's the Office Inspector General, on an actionable basis. As such, we will take no further action regarding your submission. Please go to this for more information on this matter. And that was from a program specialist with the Veterans Administration. Okay? And then, you know, the beat goes on. So essentially what these government entities say is they've got these laws, but they don't need to enforce them. Now, another thing that burns me up is also the state of Texas. That's why I went with with Hunter and Hinojosa, was there are state laws dictating accessibility and so forth. And when we have the code enforcement here in town and city codes that say we need to be concerned with that. But you know, you just don't hold your breath around here when you're dealing with this city. And you know, they don't give a damn down there. Okay? All right. Now, what I'd like to do is to give you my email, and I think what I'm going to do is start a uprising here, so to speak, by the people of this community that do care about our disabled veterans and our disabled citizens around here, veteran or not, and just start raising unmitigated hell with the city and the state and the Veterans Administration and the Department of Justice and so forth and so on, and see if we can't get something done. You know, as my predecessor president, former president and founding president of the Taxpayers Association, when Joe O'Brien used to say, silence is not the answer. Okay? All right, so here's my email address one more time. It's gsansing@gmail.com. Okay? And please email me if you're at all interested in pursuing this. If you know someone that's disabled, or in particular if you are disabled, then please contact me. I'd like to have a big meeting here one of these days and join together and just go raise unmitigated hell about this and get it done. That's the only thing that this city and these elected officials down there understand. And the mayor, you know, is elected, and then we've got a bunch of high-paid bureaucrats down there, or the city workers, and a high-priced city attorney that doesn't give a damn about anybody except himself, apparently. And I'm not sure he cares that much about himself. I have not been impressed, ladies and gentlemen, with that man's lack of performance. Okay, another thing that we need to address is the roofers raised concern about city solid waste. When we had our November meeting, our October 28th, I think it was, the Taxpayers Association general membership, the roofers came and explained that they're now having to provide the city with a whole bunch of money in order to get their permits to fix these torn up roofs around here. And it's a crime, folks. So there's a lot going on about that, but if you want to go back to November 2nd, 2017 in the Caller Times, I don't have the page number, but it's roofers raise concerns about city solid waste fee, and they're passing that on to you, through to you, and I consider that to be a tax, ladies and gentlemen. And did you vote on that? Did you have any say-so in that? I don't think so. Okay, so now we're starting to, abuse the local businesses around here, and that's big time, folks. When you have to add, $2,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $700 to a permit just to pay the city to not fix streets. That's what they say it is. Okay, and that we're going to fill up the landfill. Well, these roofers have a private landfill where they take their stuff and they don't use the big trucks like the garbage trucks that started all this mess with the CC Disposal Company. I think they were tearing up the streets as they were a private business. But anything to bleed money out of taxpayers, that's what these elected officials do. And I can't believe you sit on your rumps when the elections come up and you don't figure out who's who and go question these people. And vote for the right group for a change. We could change that, folks, if you really wanted to. But you just, pardon me, got to raise a little hell to do it. Okay. Now another thing that bothers me, we put a lot of tax abatement and so forth, gave M&G Plastics Company every method in the world to become successful here. A big chunk of change out there. And land and so forth on the ship channel, and here it is, M&G Corpus Christi plant is up for sale. So why do we not take a closer look at some of these entities that come in here and try to screw us around? I'm very happy that I was able to direct a group of individuals, and this shows you what you can do if you get a group together. We had maybe 400 or 500 people that were interested in knocking down and knocking back that Las Brisas Energy Center. I spent a lot of time and money doing that, and I don't regret a second of it. I was asked to be chair of that group because of my background in biochemistry, microbiology, toxicology, and so forth. And after about 6-7 years, we were able to convince the state through the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality and the state judges that that thing was going to kill babies here, as the American Pediatric Association indicated, and so forth, and our local physicians. But at the same time that was going on, voestalpine came in. That's that iron ore place over there in the Ingleside area. And then we got M&G came in to us. That's an Austrian company. They were going to be the cleanest, tidiest things in the world. And they've screwed around a lot of people and didn't pay off their debts and so forth and so on, got themselves in a crack, their butts in a crack, and now it's up for sale. Now, I don't know who's going to buy it, but I'm sure somebody will come in here and wine and dine them. It's just like Exxon Mobil and the rest of them. They're going to build that big plant over there in Portland area. And folks, why you're duped, I don't know. The people that are going to be making the big bucks out of this, folks, they don't have to live here in all this squalor that they generate. They're rich people. They can jet away to their condos in Colorado or in the South Seas or wherever they've set up shop, ruin this place and our health, and then they don't give a damn about anything except making a bunch of money at your expense. Okay. So there we go. TCE lists voestalpine violations for black dust. Okay, they've made it miserable over there for the residents of Portland and some in Ingleside, I think. Okay, and then another thing the city's done in its infinite wisdom here is remove the park benches from Artesian Park due to misuse. They say that they have homeless people down there that sleep on those benches, and the businesses around there don't like it. And you can regulate that thing. Okay. Now, if the city has all this money coming in and we can afford all this hoopla and everything else, I think we can, as John Mesa has indicated here, with an anti-war and anti-poverty organization. Its name is TACOS. Okay, why don't we try to take care of those people? Okay, I know I went to great lengths trying to take care of the people that were going to be displaced and so forth over in Hillcrest and you know, that area, and Solomon Coles area. But you know, it's fighting a losing battle around here. People get they get too greedy and so forth, and the people that run your town here are the ones that you know, they pay for all these ads, for political ads for Del Mar College regents and so forth and so on, and the Del Mar's quest to break the city financially by opening up that Southside campus for $500 million ultimately. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. Now, another thing that has got me real perturbed with Del Mar College, and on the last show I went through this. I have a dear friend, Dr. Bruce Olson, who he doesn't like to preach this, but he was a very dedicated Army officer. He retired as a full bird colonel. He was Special Forces Airborne Ranger and was in Vietnam on some very, very dangerous missions. Thank goodness he survived that. A lot of people did not, and that's what made it so painful for me yesterday. I met so many of those people from World War II, Korea and Nam, through my dad and other things. Okay. Now, so I was completely appalled with the actions that they took against Dr. Olson. He went to court, and there's been dispute over how much money the court awarded him. If you look at the total number of damages, it was just bumping $1 million, and now Del Mar is watering it down, saying it was $585,000 or something. But that's a pretty severe hit that for, you know, these knuckleheads over there at Del Mar and those attorneys screwing it up. And that was a jury verdict that was handed down on November the 2nd. Okay. Now, the Caller-Times was alerted immediately, and they have not had one single word to say about that since then. And here we are at the 12th, so that's what, 10 days later? Okay. So I'm completely appalled that the Corpus Christi Caller-Times has not run a comprehensive story concerning Dr. Olson's lawsuit results. That's a lot of money, folks. And my understanding is he's got a couple more lawsuits that are going to be even more painful than that for the taxpayers, because Del Mar College and their attorneys, I say Del Mar College, that's the administration, and it was brought out that the attorneys were the ones that ordered his lockout over there, and the president didn't know about it until 30 minutes before Dr. Olson called over there to security and wanted to know what the hell was going on. And I was with him that day from the very beginning, folks. And I go back and look at the show that I filmed on the 5th of this month, and it's on YouTube. It's the What's Going On in Corpus Christi, the 11/5/17 edition, and I exposed all of that. Now they dispute my amount that I said that he was awarded. If you look at the total bill, folks, and what happened, and it's higher than it's just under $600,000 that the college is preaching, and now they get their bravado and they've got their hackles all up saying they're going to go and appeal that. Well, they've already appealed that once and lost at the 13th Court of Appeals and the Texas Supreme Court, so why are we going to spend more money doing that? Okay. So, Caller-Times, I find you totally disgusting. That is a very newsworthy story, and here you are 10 days later, and there's absolutely no mention of that. The only people that I know that put anything on the airways was the Saturday following that Thursday. Channel 6, the investigative team over there, is headed by Rick Spurl, and I forget the lady's name that did the story, but they indicated that, yep, Del Mar College had lost that lawsuit, and it's a shame. And then I've been all over my constituents and so forth at Del Mar College through the faculty council and told them that the faculty over there have no rights. There is not even a faculty rights policy that's in place at Del Mar College, and I blame the faculty members for that. I mean, you've got to spine up. I've been after a lot of my fellow faculty members through the faculty council to have that document drawn up, and it's been 2 years since I started grousing about it, and nothing's been done yet. They say they've got a committee, and they're working on it, and they want to get it done by the end of this academic year, which will be in May. Good luck is all I can say. I was on the plagiarism and academic dishonesty committee, worked for two years plus, and it's been sitting over there on somebody's desk. They keep fiddling around with it and delaying it over there. The Del Mar College administration. And I'll probably be gone and in my grave before anything's done with that one. Then I want to further say that with the case with Dr. Olson, this is this has come out after that, but this is going to be the Board of Regents meeting, Del Mar College District, which is going to occur on in 2 days, November 14th on a Tuesday. And they're going to go into closed session with the attorneys. And it says 1, consultation with legal counsel regarding pending or contemplated litigation or claims, including cause number so-and-so and so-and-so Bruce Olson versus Del Mar College, or a settlement offer and the seeking of legal advice from counsel on pending legal or contemplated matters or claims. Okay, they know he's got a couple more lawsuits, folks. And then here we go, we got the same drum beat here. There's one that says review Regent's duties, responsibilities, and statement of ethics. Regent Guy Watts. I don't know why they're always on Mr. Watts for this, that, and the other. I guess that's the only thing that they can accomplish over there. They can't get anything else done. So, you know, caller times, you're despicable. The only reason I maintain my subscription with you is so I can pull these prove to the people that you really don't care. Okay. So anyway, and then I did ask the Board of Regents one time. This was back on August 21st, 2017. I asked them for, it says in their own notes, and this was published as the results of a meeting. It says Dr. Gerald Sansing request from him to the Taxpayers Association for an online site to view line items in the budget. That has still not been provided to me. The Regents have voted on a new budget based on erroneous results. Okay. Now, and then we've got Astros World Title may boost Corpus Christi hooks. This was on the front page on the 3rd, which was the day after Olson's deal. And the DMC case with Olson wasn't even mentioned. But the Astros World Series title may boost Corpus Christi's hooks. I mean, that's a news story. That story is supreme, and losing a court battle and for for a lot of hundreds of thousands of dollars is not. Okay, and then we got tax increase was at Del Mar College was announced, and there was nothing in the Caller Times except another bashing of Mr. Guy Watts or Dr. Guy Watts on that one. And then you see all this. What's your dream? And that's the logo from Del Mar College. They spend, I think, $1.3 million a year is their advertising budget. And how many of you out there have never heard of Del Mar College? And then I'm going to get into some other stuff that, there's What's Your Dream? Now, somebody after that was adopted several years ago, many years ago, is the logo here. Somebody went into the computer, put that in there, and hit something like 70 to 80 porno sites. So that shows you how great our What's Your Dream is. And then we've got the new one here, DMC, A&M Corpus Christi signed biotech deal. I've been all over that with false advertising of trademarked products over there. And then I'm going to go ahead and read what my department chair, Dr. Jack Southard, has said at that meeting where they were going to sign that agreement, a cooperative agreement, so that we can transfer those courses out to A&M and some of their biology programs. But this is the one thing that burns me up. This is one of the reasons we thought was a seed and so forth. It says these courses offer a lot of hands-on experience that you don't get in traditional biology courses, the chair said. Okay? Well, that's hogwash, sir. He's gone to the far side. That's all I can say. That's for the record. Okay. I'll saddle that horse a little bit later, and I just want to have you call the Caller Times and find out why that thing has not been addressed. Okay? Several $100,000 by the jury, and nothing is on the Caller Times. Anyway, I'll be right back with the flower. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close out with a shot of that beautiful pink, very pink flower. And thank you, Miss Lynn, and this April 23. But I just wanted you to go ahead and email me at gsansing@gmail.com. And let's just rise up and start screaming and yelling out there, voters and taxpayers. And I'm going to let this run out. Thank you for watching.